of precisely where we are in the stadium. We're in the condemned area of the old main stand, which has been here since 1954 and certainly hasn't seen a lick of paint since then. We have for company the Russian police, the Belarusian army, and also some secret policemen talking into their lapels and with bulges in their hip pockets. Not, I think, because they're pleased to see us, but because they're monitoring our every move. It is a surreal experience coming to Belarus, and in particular to Minsk. Not so much for these players, though, because they have been stationed in their hotel just across the road from the stadium for the past 24 hours or so. They trained here yesterday, and they are very pleased with the playing surface that awaits them. Rio Ferdinand skippering the national team for the third time tonight. Players having left dressing rooms that are normally conference rooms during the week. They're used by local business executives. This is very much a multi-purpose venue these days. The road to the World Cup proving a circuitous one for England, drawn as they have been with 5 nations that didn't actually exist as footballing countries only 20 years ago. But by coming to Belarus, they are in effect stepping back in time to a country that has changed relatively little since independence, where shards of metal from the old Iron Curtain are still in place, where the old Soviet suspicion of the West is still evident, and where football is not just recreation, but also a great source of national pride. This stadium usually hosts a crowd of just 2,000 or 3,000 for league matches involving Dinamo Minsk. Not tonight. Every seat that is safe to occupy was sold weeks ago. It is a 41,000 sellout, in the midst of which those England supporters will do well to make themselves heard. It is the first time that an English team, either club or international, has sampled the questionable delights of the Dinaмо Stadium. The teams emerging from below ground here and into a Belarusian night that is nowhere near as cold as it might have been. 6 degrees at this time of year represents a minor heat wave. But these locals here have seen their team beat Holland twice, most recently on the same night that England were losing to Croatia, and only 2 months ago Argentina failed to win here. So Belarus deserve respect and to be treated with some caution. If England play as they did in Zagreb, they should be okay. If they perform as they did for the first hour against Kazakhstan at Wembley on Saturday, there could be problems. There is a great expectation surrounding the game. Some spectators have spent a third of their weekly wage on a ticket, and they are eagerly awaiting one of the most glamorous matches that Belarus have played since independence. There's their manager, Bernd Stanger, formerly in charge of East Germany. His background has been well documented by the British papers recently as a former East German secret policeman. Everyone in place, and the Belarusian group Clean Voice, accompanied by a military orchestra, will perform the national anthems. Chorus of We Belarusians, an anthem chosen personally by the President Alexander Lukashenko, who is expected here tonight. I should just add that for digital satellite viewers who are seeing the red button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, just press the backup button and you'll be rid of it. Let's look at the team news before this major international occasion. The Belarus team has lost its star player. Barcelona's Alexander Klev has an ankle problem, and it's hard to overstate his importance to their cause. Usually everything goes through him. So there'll be a reliance on Vitaly Kutuzov, who plays in Italy for Parma, but who scored when Belarus beat England B team a couple of years ago. The rest of the side play either here or in neighbouring Ukraine and Russia, with the exception of playmaker Anton Putsila, who's on loan at Hamburg, but hasn't been considered good enough by Martin Jol to play in their team.
Well, I think you're going to look at a 4-4-2, very flexible. The two wide men, Stasiewicz and Sitko, will tuck in, but then you'll find the team will get behind the ball very early and try and catch England out, Belarus, and play on the break.
One change for England. The injured Ashley Cole is replaced at left-back by Wayne Bridge, making his first competitive start since Croatia's fateful visit to Wembley. Matthew Upson continues to deputise for John Terry. Steven Gerrard plays in a roving role, starting nominally at least on the left. Emil Heskey wins his 50th cap and continues a 5.5-year search for an international goal.
Well, everybody's talking about Steven Gerrard playing on the left-hand side, but for me, Heskey and Rooney will set the tempo for England tonight. If they start off break, get a hold of the ball, put players under pressure, and it should be a good evening for England.
So, on a still, not too chilly night, Steven Gerrard has the chance to get rid of some of those self-doubts that emanated in newspaper interviews this week. He has a platform on which to banish negative thoughts. There's Alexander Kulchi, the gatekeeper in the Belarus team, protecting the back four, unfashionable but essential. And Emil Heskey becoming the 10th England striker to win 50 caps. None of the others have scored fewer goals. The match referee, a familiar figure right across Europe, Terje Hauge, who took charge of the 2006 Champions League final. He's from Norway. England about to lock horns with the 80th different country that they've met. England's World Cup campaign taking them east by degrees. Tonight, 1,200 miles from home, comes what should be a stern test against opponents both confident and competent. It's Kulchi, the holding midfielder, now Stasiewicz. Kulchi once more, who began his international career some 14 years ago. And the expectation amidst Camp Capello is that Belarus will start very strongly and come right at England. This is Verhaftsov and now Filipenko. Back to the goalkeeper returning from injury, Yuri Zhevnov. Barry. Free kick, first of the game, goes Belarus's way. Chris Waddle, you've been in stadiums like this, up against wily coaches like Bernd Stanger and against teams like this. I think back to Tbilisi and your winner in 1986 for England against the Soviets. What are the essentials for England here, do you feel?
I think it's key to keep the shape, work hard. England's got to, you've seen already, John, very early in the game, how technical they are already, Belarus.
This is Stasiewicz. It's a good positive start for Wayne Bridge. Fabio Capello has preached to his players that this is a difficult game. Belarus may be ranked 59th in the world, but they are 59 and rising rapidly. Errant throw by Melyachuk. who is the right back tonight, having played at left back in the first 2 games of the group.
Well, I think they're all technically good, so most of them can fit in any position. But you know, you look at systems, and sometimes England get caught out by teams who play one off into the hole, you know, in the space between the midfield. But if you look, it's basically exactly the same shape as England, so there's no problems on that. It's just down to can England close them down and use the ball better than Belarus.
Kutuzov, the one Belarus player with player-backs absent who plays in a blue-chip European league. He's in Italy with Parma, number 13. Kutsila, cut out by Frank Lampard for England. Gerrard. Wayne Bridge raiding from left-back. It's only his 4th game of football this season. He's played just 8 minutes in the Premier League for Chelsea.
England haven't got to be afraid to go back. There, Gareth Barry's trying to force the ball. Upson's on his own. Whether he's shouted or not, it's a different matter. But they've got to be patient. They've got to look after the ball when they get it. They haven't got to go forward too early.
First concerted chorus of Belarus, Belarus, from the open stands here. On by Heskey. Too strong for Runi.
Every time that's on the way to Heskey. Walcott as well, not just Rooney. They should be off on the base. Because I just saw Heskey point at Walcott to say, why didn't you run? You might have got it. And he's right.
Sitko. Kutuzov. Amelyanchuk. Referee Hauge gives Belarus a free kick.
And Matthew Upson, again, they've swapped the play, brilliant. Belarus have moved the ball very quickly, and they're playing in front of England's back four, so it's not much of a concern at the minute. It looks quite good, but it's not effective. And Upson, no need to give a free kick, going nowhere.
A glimpse there from the local television director of David Beckham, who has been the centre of attention since England's arrival. Both the central defenders are threats from these set pieces. Filipenka and Verhaftav. Molosh, who strikes it straight into the midriff of David James, who distributes quickly. Heskey. It's done well for England, and now can release Walcott. And Rooney is central, just behind Rooney and cleared by Filipenka.
Obviously good out ball, Walcott, you know where he's placed, but there he's got to lift his head up, look where Wayne Rooney is. He's crossed that blindly, he's not really looked where Wayne Rooney is, and that was a good opportunity.
Here's Rooney. The left back Molosh was in the way. Kutuzov, dispossessed by Ferdinand. Belarus playing their first home qualifier of their World Cup campaign as Walcott is fouled. And they're desperately unlucky to lose to a very dubious penalty in the 94th minute in Kiev against Ukraine. But then they were 11 minutes away from being held to a draw in Andorra. Actually, they won 3-1. Frank Lampard. Free kick given for a push by Matthew Upson.
The referees a little bit favourable there to Belarus. Upson didn't do a lot wrong. But already we've seen David James play one long ball up to Heskey, who won comfortably. Set piece by Lampard. Upson, slight foul, but won comfortably. So set pieces are going to be a big part of that tonight for England.
It's Upson. Issued for the occasion, as you could see that. Sila. Michi, Amelyanchuk. Lampard. Wayne Bridge back. Right, Upson to Ferdinand. England just content to draw the sting from the game. Theo Walcott. Steven Gerrard outside him. It's played in towards Rooney though, who appeals that he was held back. And Terje Hauge merely shakes his head.
Well, you've got to say, when Rooney, it's a great ball in by Walcott, just got behind the defender. I don't think you'll get that. I don't think he would have got that even at Wembley. Sorry, I just think he went down a little bit too easy when Rooney.
What about at the Stretford end?
I definitely got it there.
Alexander Kulchik. Interesting preparation for the home side. They actually arrived in the country after England yesterday. They've spent much of the past week in Stuttgart. Locked away in a training camp in the middle of a forest. Unavailable for interview, conversation, pictures, information, anything. In fact, the coach, when I asked to watch training last night, decided he didn't want anyone spying on it, which was a bit rich from someone that used to work for the Stasi. Lampard. Eski.
Well, that was an easy one again. I know he's a long way out. I mean, Heskey with his head out about 18 yards. But you've got to say, easy ball in.
Some powerful support. A couple of Knights of St George.
Not very close on, it's cold enough.
I don't know whether chainmail is really the best garb for a night such as this. We are lucky that it's so mild. Usually it's hovering around freezing point at this time of year. Hurried clearance by Zhevnov. Bridge. Filipenko. Guliga. Stasiewicz. Kutuzov. 1-2 with Kutsila. And it goes astray. Brown's ball feeds Walcott, and Fehatsov just got there first.
I've been surprised, John, how open Belarus have come out. I thought they would have been very cautious and tried to play on the break. But, I think they've really gone for it.
Name of Peter Kachuro, striker with Sheffield United, one of 4 Belarusians to have played in England. And news of the other game in Group 6 tonight, being played in Croatia. They've gone 1-up against Andorra through Ivan Rakitic. Croatia 1, Andorra 0. Be a major surprise if that's anything other than a home win. Here's Rooney. He's done wonderfully well to retain it. And Gerrard will strike it! How to banish self-doubt! And look at his delight! As if a giant weight has been lifted from those broad shoulders. And Steven Gerrard produces a moment for England, just as he does so often for Liverpool.
Well, give Wayne Rooney a lot of credit. He stuck to it, flicked it over the defender's head, didn't he? Kept control, just lays it in the path of Gerrard. But what a finish. Didn't blast it, placed it. He had enough dive, nowhere near. What a terrific finish. I've got to say, Steven Gerrard playing left-hand side, took well in there on that occasion when he's put it in the bottom corner. Fantastic goal.
A rare goal, a welcome goal. It's only his second for England in the space of the last 14 internationals. And it's come at a difficult venue at an opportune time. And having expressed worries as to whether his England place was secure under Fabio Capello, he's just produced a moment of quality that suggests the coach may not be able to do without him.
They've got to keep the tempo of England. That's how they've got the success. First few minutes, Belarus looked very sharp. England took control of the game. Now don't go sit back. Keep the tempo up and get that more goals. England can.
Kutsila. By Bullinger to no one in particular. So on their first ever visit to Minsk, England have the ideal start.
Terrific goal, John. We look at it. He's hit it from 25 yards, placed it as well, bottom corner, inside the right foot. Fantastic finish.
Runi rising. And Heskey. Sitko. Kutsila. Melyanchuk. And Molosh. Awkward for David James, who's relieved to cling on.
Molosh has had 2 efforts at goal, 1 a dead ball, which was a nice strike at David James. He held well. This time, pitch just in front of him. The surface is very wet. David James, give him credit there. He did very well to keep a hold of that.
Gerrard, another opportunity. Goalkeeper was concerned, but not downright worried.
He's getting a lot of joy just playing the ball up to Heskey and Rooney. They're very strong, they're holding the ball up very, very well, and it's allowing Gerrard to go and join in. That one was well weighed.
Capello warned of the dangers of coming here, but also preached of the benefits of scoring first. England unbeaten in 6 internationals now under the Italian. Barry. Lampards. And West Brown having to turn, and he won't get there. It's Sitko. This is a Belarusian breaker, but English making. It was then missed by Gareth Barry.
Lack of communication. Gerrard plays out Walcott. West Brown takes off. Doesn't obviously talk to Walcott and cause himself big problems.
Bullinger. The option is Sitko. Kutsila. Tuzov. Kulchi. Kutsila again. Lampard bites into a challenge. Kulchi. Bridge. Its record against the former Soviet republics, if you take out the giants of Russia, is perfect. Played 11, won 11. The goal by Kukayev of Kazakhstan at Wembley on Saturday was the first time they'd even conceded a goal against one of the one-time Soviet states. David James, which was a considerable relief. Sitko let fly.
It was a good effort by Sitko. It was quite lively, Sitko on that left-hand side, causing a few problems for Wes Brown.
Bridge to Heskey, who's offside. We see a rerun of Sitko's effort.
They're quite effective down the left-hand side. Molosh plays it in Sitko, first time, hits it, David James parries it away. But England's just come off the tempo slightly, and I think that's encouraging Belarus to start giving time on the ball. And I think when you give teams like this time on the ball, they can hurt you.
Just thinking about Gerrard's goal, one of the reasons we were given for his starting position nominally on the left, allowed to robe in, was that Fabio Capello wanted to see him shooting on goal with his right foot, and it's precisely what happened after 11 minutes. This is Stasiewicz for Belarus. Runs away from Barry. Gerrard. Rooney. Lampard. He was hurried. There's a challenge arriving.
That's a bad ploying, and just get the centre circle in their half. Once they get to there, they'll work them hard and get the ball back off them.
Gerrard gives it away. It's not the first thing he's done wrong. Corchi. Kutuzov, nice work, and a smart save from James, who's beginning to have to do a little more for England.
We're just letting Belarus play all the way up the field, little giving goals, 1-2s. They don't do anything complicated, it's just simple football. But England stopped working since they've scored the goal. And that was another good save to hold on to that, David James. That was excellent.
Lampard. Very animated figure tonight, Capello, just as he was at Wembley on Saturday. Heskey, perhaps has followed him. Lampard. Bridge. Gerrard. Wayne Bridge again. Putzila. Sitko. An error by Walcott. The attack able to continue. Ferdinand's header. Now Gulliger. Snapping in was Barry. And Rooney relieved the pressure. Hafsov. That was a challenge the referee didn't like. I'm not surprised. The stud's showing, and it's a yellow for Putzila.
I think that's a good decision.
Could have been worse than yellow, couldn't it?
I think if the referee had saw it properly, John, I think he would have got a red. That was terrible. That was a late over-the-top challenge.
Both feet off the ground.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So Putzila, the 21-year-old deputy for Alexander Kleb, receives yellow when Terje Hauge might well have produced red. Ferdinand. Heskey all the way through.
They've just stopped working, John. They've stopped working. Gerrard Obviously that goal was absolutely wonderful, and I think he's doing okay on the left-hand side. He wants to get more involved, you can see.
The goal from 31.4 yards, we're told by our fellows with the measuring tape. After 11 minutes, and his 14th in the white of England. Kulczyk. Stasiewicz. And his feet whipped from beneath him by Wayne Bridge.
Definitely a foul. Wayne Bridge caught on his heels, diving in, didn't need to go and try and win the ball.
David James coming for a ball that Rio Ferdinand was going to cope with. Belarus beginning to believe in themselves again after the concession of that goal to Gerrard. Kulczyk. Gives it away. There have been some sloppy elements to England's play these past 5-10 minutes. Stasiewicz. Amelyanchuk. And for Buliga. And through for Kutuzov. And a well-timed dash by James.
I'll tell you what, John, England are not working hard enough as a four in midfield. The back four, they're getting at the back four of England very, very easy, Belarus, and it's a concern, I'm sure, for Capello. He's telling them to get up the field and try and squeeze it and condense it, because if you give this team too much room, they've just shown what they do. They're very good technically.
The Russian football very much on the up. And for the first time ever, got a team in the group stage of the Champions League. Bate, a Borisov automobile tractor electrical equipment company team. Thank goodness they do use the acronym. Who were 2 up here a fortnight ago against Juventus of all people, and eventually drew 2-2. Stasiewicz, who's playing on the right side for Belarus this evening, scored one of the goals. Amelyanchuk. And Sitko with a tame effort in the end, but the interpassing is beginning to click for Belarus.
Well, just as well they don't have a top-class striker, or so far, up to the 18-yard box. They're getting through England with ease. Technically great, never long passes, all short, giving goals, 1-2, lovely movement, but round the box they're struggling.
Instructions keep on coming. It's pretty level-headed though, not as convinced by the display in Croatia as many, not as concerned by the performance against Kazakhstan as many observers. So take the middle line, having seen most things before. The ball dispensed with by Runi. Referee spotted it. It's a lecture, not a card. Gerrard. Runi. Lampard bounces off Buliga. Where's Brown? Bridge. Barry. And Heskey is onside this time. Landmark occasion, his 50th cap. It's a lovely ball towards Runi.
Brilliant play by Emil Heskey. It was a ball Bridge just played down to Heskey, pulled out well to the wing, didn't panic, drove to the byline with his left foot, hung it up, and Wayne Rooney was very unfortunate coming in at the far post between 2 red shirts, just couldn't direct it on the target.
Supporters, or at least the band among them, managing to make themselves heard amongst the Belarusian whistles and catcalls. Filipenko. England leading through Steven Gerrard's goal 11 minutes in. Molos. Amelyanchuk. Stasiewicz. Kulchi. Guliga. Kulchi, the pivot really for Belarus. Kutuzov. Stasiewicz. It's beyond Guliga, but not Sitko, and Belarus are level. Pavel Sitko's first international goal. 2 minutes shy of the half hour, and to Belarusian delight, England's lead is snuffed out.
Absolutely top draw goal, by the way. Sitko's got in, he's been a threat all night, free header. Maybe look as if he's offside. We've got to give credit to Belarus. Some wonderful football, absolutely fantastic. Anybody who thought Belarus weren't a force or a decent side, just look at that goal. That is absolutely brilliant. Sitko's on his own, Walcott's let him run in. Free header, far post, definitely not offside. There's only one team playing at the minute, John.
A picture that takes the place of many, many words. And where before there were frowns, now there are smiles in the stands. David James left totally unprotected. And Belarus, for their play over the past quarter of an hour or so, probably deserve to be level. England have had opportunities like Heskey's cross towards Rooney to double their lead, but now they've been pegged back by a Belarus team that looks increasingly at home and accomplished. West Brom was caught, the referee plays the advantage with Walcott. And Bernd Stanger, who has put a lot of preparation into this game, justified in his selection of a player who previously had only won 3 caps, Pavel Sitko. Changed his entire midfield personnel for this game tonight. And now it's a different challenge for England. Stasiewicz. Lampard. Threads it through, Wayne Rooney is offside.
He's just offside, and he's got to watch his trailing foot as he jumps over the goalkeeper. Does he leave it slightly there? I don't think the Belarusians were happy about that.
Molos, the left back.
A heavy challenge Wes Brown did on Molos, fair, but he's followed through and everything. Molos had an awkward fall. The big problem England's got, John, watching it as the game's progressed, I know the 4 midfield players do nothing when Belarus have the ball. Nothing. They don't compete, they haven't won a tackle. It's all right getting behind the ball, but you get behind the ball for a reason, to go and win it. You know, when it comes over the halfway lane, that's your job, go and win the ball. The last 20 minutes, Belarus have just played all the way, anything they wanted to do, all the way up to the box. There's too much pressure on the back 4.
Ivica Olic has scored a penalty for Croatia against Andorra. Croatia now lead 2-0 in the other fixture tonight in this group, Group 6. Rakitic got the first there. Amelyanchuk headed clear by Ferdinand. Bekhavsov. Barry. And elsewhere tonight, Ireland have taken the lead against Cyprus through their record scorer Robbie Keane. Here, there are causes for concern for England as Gerrard follows through a little on Kulchi, who stays down for a moment to get his breath back. Heskey. Gerrard bursting through from midfield and following it in. It's Molosh. Here's Wes Brown. Lampard. Walcott alert. Heskey central. Filipenka there, marshalling him. Rooney gathered it in well. He wanted someone to his left, really. Bridge was slow in coming. Here's Lampard with the burst. Bridge. There's a corner.
Well, that was a bit better by England. Passed the ball nice and early. Rooney again linking up there heavily. And Bridge got a crossing which is blocked for the corner. And this is a good opportunity for him in set pieces.
Well, 2 Lampard set pieces led to 2 goals on Saturday against Kazakhstan. Lampard towards Heskey, and it was a good chance to mark his 50th cap with a goal.
Well, they say he doesn't score enough goals, does he? But he's there again at that near post. Good header, just couldn't direct it on the target. Again, a set piece. Every time the ball's gone in the Belarus box, England normally win it.
5 goals in 50 games. Heskey, in the colours of his country. Of course, we should point out he contributes a lot more than merely goal scoring. Rooney. Walcott's not quite that quick. Stasiewicz. Gerrard, Heskey, content to take the free kick.
Heskey's done well. Fortune's got to come deep too much, him and Wayne Rooney, to get involved, because the midfield have never dominated apart from the opening 10 minutes.
Culture. Kutuzov. Sitko. Blocked by Barry. The tradition of the Belarus teams, both at club and national level, has always been to play with a swagger and with some style. Approach that Bernd Stanger, their German coach, is keen to continue. Flag up on the far side for an offside against Emil Heskey. Heskey was caught late there by Melyanchuk, who immediately waves an acknowledgement to the referee. Seen one yellow card for a challenge that might have brought red a little earlier, but this one doesn't even bring yellow.
Well, Melyanchuk should have got a yellow, there's no doubt about it. The referee's been very lenient. This is again a set piece in a good position.
Square-jawed authoritarian watches on. All of 35 yards. Gerrard scored a little earlier from 31. This is Lampard. It was crisply hit. Brown. Kutuzov. Belarus causing problems for England, just as they have for Holland, Argentina and Germany in the past year. I just wonder, though, Wes Brown's involvement in the goal at the end of a 23-pass move, do you think he ducks?
I don't think he ducks. He did slightly there, you're right. He did duck, but he was marking another man, and Walcott's let the goal scorer Sitko run in free at the far post.
Sitko had an unchallenged position from which to slot in the equaliser. England's lead lasted 17 minutes. Bridge. Filipenka. Ferdinand, who was caught by Bulliger as he released the pass. Ferdinand is limping a long way away from where play now is. It's affected quite a turnaround in Belarusian fortunes. Ben Stanger, 15 months in charge.
He's still limping, by the way. He's caught. He's opened his ankle up. He might have took a ligament, whatever, but he's opened his ankle up. He's not happy about the situation.
Now Rio Ferdinand still limping. As Barry chips it forward too strongly for Rooney.
That's one player who don't want to come off.
Gerrard. Keski touched on for Walcott, who's flying, and the goalkeeper comes and just gets there first. There wasn't much in that.
Well, that's the outball for England. We know Theo Walcott's pace, but it's not being used well at all first half.
Rooney. Brown. Gerrard. Ferdinand moving rather more freely now. Rooney. Good ball. Theo Walcott too waiting, but the ball couldn't be crossed. Filipenka, man who made the tackle on Theo Walcott. And now Filipenka's out of position, and Walcott's pace is troubling Belarus. Rooney was waiting in the middle.
Well, that's the first run he's had tonight where he's actually showed his pace, got away from the defence, but again, gets his head up. Look at Wayne Rooney coming in, another touch. They were never going to catch him. He could have took it on a little bit further and maybe looked at Wayne Rooney.
Ferdinand, Barry, Diego Filipenka presents it to Wes Brown. Rooney went chasing for it, it'll be a goal kick. It's Filipenka that made that important tackle on Walcott when he had the chance to cross. Of a bunch of players who ply their trade in the lucrative and increasingly successful Russian Premier League, Spartak Moscow. Kutuzov, the one player to have escaped this part of Europe, playing in Italy. Lampard, Gerrard, Barry feeding Bridge. Hit early, looking for Heskey, but over club. But here's Walcott sneaking in. And he is causing problems for the left-back now, Molosh.
Well, he causes problems because he's got. He doesn't pick. It's not when he's got the ball at his feet. It's when he hasn't got the ball and they play the ball in the space for him. That's when he looks a threat for England. But only a few times he's done it tonight, and I've been disappointed really across the midfield four. I don't think they've dominated enough. They haven't won enough second balls. They've let Belarus come right up the park. And we saw the goal. That was a classic example. There's no challenges.
Lampard lofting it for Walcott. There's two defenders to deal with, Bekovsov and Moschel. Sitko. Clearance. Chernov. Stasiewicz. Kutsila. Another loose free kick. Archetypal itinerant manager, Stanger, really working in his 8th country. Doesn't choose the easy jobs, in charge of East Germany and Iraq at various stages in a wandering career. He took Iraq against all the odds to the semi-finals of the Athens Olympics. Gerrard clutching his head, and the outcome is a free kick for England. We're expecting one additional minute at the end of this first period. Lampard, the ever-willing, ever-available Heskey. Walcott. Brown. Filipenka. Kutsila. Sitko. Runi. Flags up. And the defender is down. Bekovsov. Fabio Capello's half-time address will consist of what, do you imagine, Chris?
Well, I think the front two have worked the socks off Rooney and Heskey. They've really chased everything down. They've worked, they've been available. But I said before, I think the back four has been steady. Wes Brown could use the ball a lot better than what he did. But the four cross for me from Walcott to Gerrard. Gerrard, fabulous goal. But overall, they've only played for about 10 minutes and a half. They've never won second ball. They've never dominated. They've let Belarus play far too easy. I think that's where he'll be questioning. Maybe even look at Ray Phillips coming on for Walcott.
As the referee blows his whistle for half-time, Steven Gerrard gilded a good English start. England then fell away. Conversely, Belarus started badly and improved to the point that their equaliser turned in by Pavel Sitko was well-deserved. What do we make of England? Well, awesome in Croatia, ordinary against Kazakhstan for the most part, and tonight, awkward so far. Capello with work to do, and a half-time score in this Dinámo Stadium in Minsk of Belarus 1, England 1.
And it's been frustrating, but it all started so brightly for England with Steven Gerrard's 14th international goal. The lead lasted just 17 minutes. The thoughts of Maka, Sam and Terry come next. Fabio is not happening action for you starting Saturday. Kelly Pavlik against Bernard Hopkins from Atlantic City. That's Saturday. And then on the 8th of November, two worlds collide. It's Joe Calzaghe against Roy Jones Jr. and then David Hay against Monty Barrett is on Saturday the 15th. Let's go back to our commentary team where there's a fight going on in Minsk. No changes at half-time for England. Back to John and Chris.
Beautiful surroundings. Everywhere you look around this stadium, stately buildings, unintelligible Cyrillic script, and a real battle on England's hands here against Bernd Stanger's Belarus. Always going to be difficult, and so it's proving. England having taken and then lost the lead. They were in front for 17 minutes. No changes by either side at half-time, although significantly, David Beckham was going through his paces at half-time. I wonder how long it will be before we see him. Fabio Capello has said what he feels he needed to say. He's probably got quite a lot of his chest, one imagines. And previous half-time team talks have had the desired effect. But what we've seen in recent games, Croatia apart, is patchy England performances where they've been very good for periods and rather sloppy subsequently in the same game. It's all rather frustrating. So what have you made of it so far, Chris?
I think you're spot on, John, what you've just said. They've been, first 10 minutes they looked bright, they were moving the ball, England, and they scored, they came off the boil. And we just had a vision of Beckham warming up, but then Belarus just took control.
Here's Walcott, trying to take control for England until he lost track of the ball. I think that was an Italian curse being uttered by the England manager. Can't be sure.
Well, that's the problem sometimes. You're too quick for your own good. He's got a caught there. He hit his left foot before he got it out of his feet, and it's gone out for a goal. But wasted opportunity by Walcott. I'm sure he'll have had some words about the midfield closing down. Steven Gerrard's actually started very much in the centre. I don't know if he's just drifted in there because they had the ball, England, but Gareth Barry's starting to go left.
Forward by Amelyanchuk. Upson put to safety. Beckham, not the only one warming up. Defoe and Crouch, the Portsmouth pair, little and large, are also down there going through their paces. Filipenka. Foul by Heskey.
Easy foul. You know, I think when England play Lampard with Gerrard in the middle, and Barry's going slightly left, I just wonder about the defensive role, because they both like to follow the ball and get a track and try and score goals, and sometimes they'll leave a big hole, as we saw against Kazakhstan on Saturday.
Sealer threw himself there. Didn't deserve a free kick and doesn't get one. Rooney. Gerrard made a run ahead of him, took a defender with him. It's still Wayne Rooney. It's more like it, put Sealer still down.
Yeah, the goalkeeper's played away. Terrific run by Rooney. Had options left. Steven Gerrard ran ahead of him. I think he just thought, I'll go on my own. Options closed up. It was a lovely bit of skill to go past the two defenders. Just couldn't get enough power, enough backlift to get the power. He was trying to place it in the bottom corner. It was a comfortable save.
Sealer receiving treatment. He's the man, or really the boy, who's come in to replace Alexander Kleb, who Belarus were hoping to patch up and send out there tonight, but that fell through yesterday when Barcelona said he simply wasn't fit enough, even for a place on the bench. And normally everything goes through Kleb. That's what caused Sealer's problem. Offside, Heskey. So just interpret this system for us, for England now. What's the tweak since half-time?
Well, he's told Gerrard to go and play, looks like, behind Heskey and Rooney. Rooney's gone slightly left. Barry started slightly left. He's come back into the middle with Lampard. So it's very much how they started on Saturday against Kazakhstan, which didn't work very well.
Here's Heskey. Good power, Emil Heskey. Rooney waiting. Rooney scoring! England off to a second-half flyer. And it's the man with the go-faster haircut who, if anything, by chopping off his locks, has enhanced his strength. Yet another goal for Wayne Rooney, and look who set it up, the ideal partner, Emil Heskey.
Fantastic break. Wayne Bridge, quick thinking, Heskey, terrific run down the flank, and he threw it early, throw in, and then after that, Emil Heskey, great pace, great strength, and to pick Rooney out and give Rooney credit. The finish is fantastic. He just opens his body up, side foots it past the goalkeeper. That is a great goal by England.
6 goals in his last 5 games for club and country for Wayne Rooney, who celebrates his 23rd birthday next week, and both on and off the pitch there are signs of greater maturity from which Manchester United and England are likely to benefit.
I just hope England now don't go off the gas as they did the first half and let Belarus take control of the game.
A couple of half-time scores elsewhere. Northern Ireland leading San Marino 2-0. Healy and McCann. It's another international goal for the record-breaking David Healy. And Wales drawing 0-0 with Germany. And also a half-time. Here, England back in front in the capital of Belarus.
I think we're moving Steven Gerrard inside, off Rooney and Heskey away. He's got on to Kuti, who's dictating a lot of the play first half. Deep midfield player, the captain, who's getting the ball.
1 or 2 suggestions from Belarus that Rooney was offside. You decide.
Not for me, he's pulled the ball back. All right, for me, he was on lane.
Bridge looking for Rooney, took it down wonderfully well and then didn't do the easier part. Wayne Rooney looking more like the player that he has always promised to be.
Well, you know, his work rate is always never questioned, and I think what he does now is, though, he does it higher up the field, and that's why he's getting his rewards in front of the goal. He's getting in the danger area there.
A central role by Fabio Capello today. It's one thing that was learned from the Kazakhstan game was that Rooney is so much more effective through the middle. Here's Lampard. England seeking another goal to give them a comfort zone. Feeling among the coaching staff is that at least one of the big name teams in Group 6 will falter here. Their task just to make sure it's not England. And England are fortunate to be playing Belarus here, minus Alexander Kleb in the home side. He does make a difference. Gerrard over this. Shevnov and the Belarus goal. It's towards Upson. First bounce for the Belarus goalkeeper. His distribution is over-ambitious.
Another ball in, another win, an easy challenge. Upson heads it down. Heskey Garble didn't get it. But Belarus haven't really started the second half. And England started very bright. They've just got to keep the tempo with England. What they're doing at the minute, Belarus chance just can't get. Look as if they've tired slightly, Belarus. And England now, with that goal, has given them a lot more confidence.
One thing we're learning about Capello is that his half-time team talks do seem to have an effect. And the other thing is that he's unafraid to make substitutions. And to make positive substitutions.
No, he makes changes when he needs to, if people are not doing it.
And the threat was there for those out there, with Crouch and Defoe and Beckham all warming up vigorously, but England have responded with a goal. Sitko is the player who's struggling in the centre circle for Belarus. A short stoppage while he receives treatment. England's coach taking charge of the national team for the 9th time 6 wins, a draw, and that solitary defeat in France. Things overall seem to be heading in the right direction. It's hugely significant with a 6-month break from competitive internationals. England's next qualification game against Ukraine at Wembley on the 1st of April. So this really sets the tone for much of midwinter, footballing-wise, with the England national team. 2 or 3 friendlies to be played. Germany away next month, possibility of a trip to Spain, wherever that game may be played, in February, and then Slovakia coming to Wembley late March. And serious business resumes on the 1st of April. Here's Walcott. There's a hand, a Belarus hand. Remember, England have never before won their opening 4 games of a World Cup qualification campaign.
Belarus first half also changed gear, didn't they, and caused so many problems, but they just can't seem to do it this half.
There again, you couldn't really see them producing too much when England were in the early ascendancy, so things can change.
Brown, but the referee's assistant, Hulen, signalling a foul by the Manchester United right back.
But he was unlucky, Wes Brown. He just caught him, spotted the pass, tried to get in front, just caught Sitko. I think what Belarus haven't worked out yet is when they do take the ball off England, get it out to the right-hand side, because Heskey's out there at the moment, but as soon as England get the ball, everybody comes into the middle, and there's a lot of space out there, and Belarus haven't spotted it yet.
Gerrard. Lampard. Stadion had the chance to clear, but instead it's Bridge. Barry. Heskey, no free kick. Kutsila. Kulchi. Sitko.
I think he threw his own player a dummy there. He went to play it, changed his mind, and rolled it down the lane, and the player hadn't a clue what he was going to do.
Voice of Chris Waddle, 62 caps for England, and never beaten in a qualification match. Belarus coming into this game like England, buoyed by the success of their under-21 team, qualified for the European Championship finals in Sweden next year. Whilst it's laudable for England, it's relatively unexpected for Belarus. Here's Kutuzov. Sila tangling with Runi. Sila, one of those who's been hooked out of the under-21 squad to bolster the senior ranks.
He's definitely said at half-time, Capello, go and press players in possession. There's no way they haven't been told, because first start, it's a different performance. Every time there's a red shirt in the ball, there's white shirts getting around him.
Here's Kulchi with a run from midfield. Solid challenge by Wes Brown. One number 2 on the other. And then an England free kick for a foul on Heskey.
That was a great run. The captain, Wes Brown, spotted the danger. No way it was a penalty. It was a good challenge. Terrific run.
Relatively comfortable night for Terje Hauge so far. Second time he's taken charge of England this season. He was in the middle for the opening friendly against the Czech Republic on that hugely disappointing night at Wembley. Improved somewhat
fellow in England's perspective since then. Houliga. Molos. Goes some to beat Walcott. And it is an England free kick at the end of all that.
A good tracking back this time by Walcott. This time he stuck to his task and got himself a free kick. I think Wes Brown's got to watch himself. He's just caught Sitko again in half-wheel, and the referee played advantage, I think, one more time, and I think he's going to get a yellow as well.
It's only Emil Heskey at immediate risk of a yellow card suspension tonight. He's got one caution against his name in the group so far. 2 bookings means a one-match ban. In Minsk. The head first through Steven Gerrard and then through Wayne Rooney 5 minutes into this second period. Sitko's effort, short of the half hour, had drawn Belarus level. And Hauge. Radionov, who's a striker, getting ready to come on for Belarus. Filipenka. Amelyanchuk. Decision goes Belarus's way, and Runi not inclined to argue too much. Bekhavsov to Kulchi. Ferdinand. Sitko, Kulchi. Kutuzov, Stasiewicz, penalised.
I think it's dropped too deep. They've gone far too deep. Heskey, Rooney, every one of them is behind the ball, 30-40 yards from the goal. They need to get up and press the ball around the half-wheel, and that's where they get the joy.
This is Kutuzov for Belarus. Taking place home of Dinámo Minsk. One of the few sides to break the Russian stranglehold on the old Soviet title. They won it in 1982 and went on to reach the quarter-final of the European Cup the following season. Suggestion from our men down by the touchline is that Sean Wright-Phillips is going to come on shortly for England. Be their first change. Kulchi. Putsila. Wayne Bridge. Offside.
I think he's just come off the pace, John, and Sean Wright-Phillips will come on for Walcott. He wasn't really impressed tonight, and Sean Wright-Phillips is just there, as you can see, getting his instructions for the set pieces. But hopefully he can get a hold of the ball and run England up the field, because they're going deeper and deeper again like they did in the first half.
Yeah, echoes of what happened after Steven Gerrard had put England in front. England have started both halves very positively, very well, and have scored early in both periods as well. Stasiewicz, Kulchi, Houliga. This is Molos. Wes Brown has to be careful. It's good shielding of the ball from Lampard. And here's Barry, and now Gerrard. On for Heskey, but he was never going to get through to that.
Just gone sloppy, England. I don't know if they've put that much work in. They're starting to come off the pace as we're talking about, but Belarus again played some wonderful football until the final ball let them down. You just can't let these play. They're very, very talented.
That's how the jingoistic you may feel towards England. One could only admire the build-up to the Belarus goal, which involved a move of 23 passes. Gerrard. Walcott will chase. Goalkeeper decides to come out and act as sweeper. It's not just Wright Phillips that may be coming on, but Peter Crouch too. Heskey. Rooney made it his. Gerrard makes a run. Rooney tried to find him.
Didn't need to find him, did he? A lot of red shirts in the box. All he had to do was give it to Wayne Bridge, who's come on the overlap. Just keep possession up the half for a bit, because every time, the last 5-10 minutes, Belarus have basically dominated possession.
Stasjevic. Sitko. Free kick, chance for at least one substitution to be made. First change is going to come from the home side, and it is Vitaly Radionov, who plays up front for Bate and played here against Juventus only a couple of weeks ago, and he is going to replace Anton Putsila. And for England, Sean Wright-Phillips is coming on, and the information we're getting is that Theo Walcott is going to be withdrawn. But it's Belarus first. This a striker for a midfield player. And there's some confusion down on the bench. The fourth official has turned away. Capello wants to make the England change now. So do all his staff. But the fourth official is suggesting that not all the necessary paperwork has been completed. This is, mind you, a country where just to get into it you have to complete a number of forms in triplicate.
Still not let them change.
Well, frustration is turning to annoyance on the England bench now. Kitman says they want to make a change. The physio says they want to make a change, so does the goalkeeping coach, and here comes the fourth official, and there is the change. Sean Wright-Phillips on for Theo Walcott.
I think it's a good choice. I think Walcott struggled tonight, showed a couple of good runs when the ball's been played over the back. He's used his pace, but his final ball hasn't been the best, so I think it's a good decision to get Wright-Phillips on.
And you went public in a national newspaper last week as saying you didn't think that necessarily Walcott should have played against Kazakhstan. Do you feel you've been vindicated in your view?
Well, I'm going to say yes, aren't I? But I think, you know, through goals and Croatia were fantastic. But if you look at the overall performance, I don't think you start thought Rooney was the best player on the park on the night. So, but goals, obviously, people think that makes him a better player.
Gerrard. Barry. Bridge. That's a Melyanchuk. No question at all about Theo Walcott's ability and about his future. It's just allying it to consistency now, really. James was falling as he cleared, and the circumstances got reasonable distance.
Change the system. Obviously, Steven Gerrard's got license to play in the hole, really, behind the front of Heskey, and I don't think he's really got in the game. He seems to be better when he wanders around, Steven Gerrard, rather than being told to play in a certain position.
Radionov. Molosh. Kutuzov. Guliga. Kulchi. Fended off by Gerrard, who is disappointed, shall we say. Now the free kick given against him, but it does offer the opportunity for England's second substitution. It's one big man for another. Emil Heskey's 50th cap ends early. without the hoped-for goal, but with a very important assist for Wayne Rooney's goal, by which England lead. On comes the tallest player in English international football history.
I'm surprised, unless he's got a knock, John, I wouldn't have took him off. I think he's been leading the line brilliant, as you say. Well, Rooney's goal, exceptional bit of play down that left-hand side, and I would have left him on. He's a handful, he's got great pace, and they can't handle him in the back.
Hooligan. Ferdinand. England now make 2 of their 3 permitted changes. First involvement for Sean Wright-Phillips. Looking down at the dugout behind Fabio Capello, there is some ice being applied to Emile Heskey's hamstring, which will be a picture that concerns Steve Bruce back home, no doubt.
Oh, well, the form he's in at the moment, so he's a big loss to say he had to go off because it would have been an injury, because he would never have took him off.
Well, there is a Belarus injury, which gives me opportunity to tell you about 2 more big Premier League games coming up on Setanta this weekend. We'll be at Old Trafford on Saturday for live coverage of the champions, Manchester United, against Tony Mowbray's very attractive Baggies. And then on Monday night, Newcastle take on Manchester City at St James's Park. And again, that is live only here on Setanta. And just to say as well, whilst we're on the parish notices, that coming up very soon, filling the international gap for the next 5 months before England's next competitive international, the FA Cup. The world's most famous cup competition about to arrive here on Setanta Sports, with plenty of live matches, including replays from every round, and the start of that is now barely 3 weeks away. There's the captain barking out the orders, having received instructions from the bench. New partnership up top for England with Crouch and Rooney. Stasiewicz being led off looking just a little groggy, as David Beckham, who's had cameo roles in all 3 qualification games so far, continues to try to catch his coach's eye. Stasiewicz back on for Belarus. Doesn't necessarily faze the home team. They were 2 down in Germany just prior to the Euros. Warm-up international for the Germans, and eventually drew 2-2 in Kaiserslautern. It's less than a year since they beat Holland on this ground. They drew with Argentina. They have 2 changes left in their bench. Amelyanchuk. Guliga. Crouch needs a run up, finds one in Rooney, who's got 2 up with him. Sean Wright-Phillips. Wayne Rooney with a touch, and a shot that's immediately blocked by Sitko. And now the break could be on for Belarus, but for the diligent work of Lampard.
He just overplayed slightly on the box, didn't it, on the edge of the box. I thought Sean Wright-Phillips or Rooney hit it first time. That opportunity, had the space. 1 touch too many.
Wayne Bridge. Left by Rooney for Gerrard. It's lovely, it's Rooney, it's a chance, it's a third! And England are taking this World Cup qualifying group very much in their stride.
That was just a fantastic move again by England. A little over by Rooney, who then spun. Knew exactly, Bridge played it inside, jumps over it, dummy by Gerrard. Well, a great shout, but look at Wayne Rooney's change of feet, and the finish was absolutely brilliant. Waited till the goalkeeper started committing himself and just lifted it over him into an empty goal. Fantastic move by England, lovely weighted pass. It's all about Wayne Rooney once he got the ball in. That is a fantastic finish, fantastic. fantastic goal.
For Rooney, it's 4 goals in the last 3 England internationals. His previous 3 competitive goals took 4 years and 20 games to accumulate. He scores in spurts. It's a frustration for him. He would love to be more consistent, but England will not be complaining right now. When he's hot, he's very hot. Here's Bridge. England with a margin now. Gerrard. The interplay between Gerrard and Rooney was outstanding. West Brown beaten by Kutuzov. Then is outboxed by Lampard. And still the orders come.
Well, if you look at the body language, Belarus now as well, there's a lot of them shoulders have dropped, and they're just now, they've got to get back into it quick if they're going to get into it.
Ferdinand anxious for James to come out. Well, the expressions tell their own tale. It's a country where life can still be hard. Average monthly pay packet is around about £300, little more. A lot of these supporters have used a big chunk of that money to buy their way into tonight's game. It is Strahanovic coming on for Kutuzov. Strahanovic, who was expected to start tonight. There were wholesale changes in the midfield. Sean Wright-Phillips. Strahanovic has dropped into a central role. He's primarily left-sided normally. Gerrard. Bridge has made a run, attracting the attentions of one defender. Gerrard's ball to Crouch, beaten by Verhofsov. Crouch with it at his feet. And a free kick to England.
Crouch has done very well since he come on. He's linked the play well, like Heskey's won his headers. He's just carried on from what Heskey was doing.
That's precisely what Capello would have wanted. Buliga.
Just looked at Wayne Rooney running there. He pulled up. I thought he pulled the hamstring on a calf, but I think he must have stood in a divot or something. But he was limping for about 5 seconds.
Well, he has many admirers. Some of them real, some of them not. I think we all know the cartoon character that's being referred to. Very unkind. Although the haircut, you know, is all his own work. Did it in his hotel room at the Grove.
Obviously,
last Thursday.
Can't afford a proper one, can he?
Verhofsov. Back by Ferdinand. Carl Lafferty has scored a third for Northern Ireland against San Marino. They lead 3-0 in Belfast. Wales still 0-0 with Germany. That will be a very creditable result for John Toshak's men. And Croatia 4 now, Andorra 0 in the other game in Group 6. Luka Modric of Spurs has scored a second goal for Rakitic, and the other in the first half, an Olic penalty. Croatia 4, Andorra 0. But Croatia, England's big problem in this group, it would seem, also runs at the moment. England heading for 12 points, 4 wins out of 4. As long as they keep their heads and their minds on the task in hand.
There's a little bad pass by Lampard, nearly caught them out, but David James spotted the danger and came out very quickly.
Buliga. Radionov sorted out. Without ceremony by Wayne Bridge. Doesn't look like a player with only 8 minutes of Premier League action under his belt this season. Filipenka. And Kutuzov, who was really the main threat in terms of both reputation and likely performance, vanished early to the bench. Days like this, it will be a very happy flight home for the England players tonight. Clubs anxious to have the players home to prepare for Premier League fixtures at the weekend. So they will leave Minsk Airport in the early hours. We are 2 hours ahead of the UK here, local time, coming up to 11:10 in the evening. And the temperature dropping quite sharply now. Stasiewicz. Wes Brown there for England. Oh, those are demonic eyes, aren't they?
He never eases up, does he? It's nice to see, I suppose, but you know, he's a winner. He's won many competitions, and you know, so far so good in his qualifying. It's perfect.
Extraordinary record. 9 league titles in 16 seasons as a manager, 7 of them in Italy, 2 in Spain, 4 Serie A championships as a player.
You've got to give him credit, John, about the change he did. You know, as England weren't playing well, and he's obviously had words about the tempo, they weren't closing down hard enough, and he's put Gerrard basically behind the front, and he's got Rooney slightly left, and it's worked.
This is Gerrard. Ferdinand. Barry. Gerrard. England attempting to gild the Belarusian lily. That was Gerrard. Steven Gerrard's part in what looks increasingly like a noteworthy England victory will have done wonders for what seemed to be his brittle self-confidence.
I think what's nice is fucking fellow for England fans here.
As we break off as Wright Phillips attacks past Kulchi, and there is Gerrard, and the referee has full play back for a free kick to Belarus.
Good run by Sheffield. I think what you'll see from Capello is that, you know, we go on about the system of 4-4-2 and who's going to play on the left, and Gerrard the other day, obviously after 15 minutes it wasn't working, and then he's changed it again and it's worked well, putting Gerrard in the off the striker and playing Rooney slightly left. It's worked very, very well second half.
So we think he knows what he's doing, do we?
Well, he's got plan B, which is nice.
Over robust from Rooney. They won't want him picking up a silly yellow card at this stage. Never scored a hat-trick for England, Rooney.
I think we're going to see David Beckham come on soon.
Yes, it is. David Beckham, who's going to come on for his 107th cap, which takes him clear of Sir Bobby Charlton to third place on his own in the all-time caps list. Just one behind Bobby Moore now. At least he will be in about 30 seconds' time. Cameras at the ready from the home supporters to record the moment when David Beckham stepped out in Minsk for the first time.
Will he take off Gerrard or will he take off Wayne Rooney?
Stasiewicz. Bridge. Oh, that's an errant header. It's Gerrard. It's still Gerrard. Oh, denied by the post. That would have kept a near perfect evening for the Liverpool man.
He's going to say that a lot of times, and of all the players who want in that position, who would fancy Steven Gerrard, didn't he? A terrific run, a little interception he picked up of a sloppy header, did everything right, got the goalkeeper on the floor, rounded him outside the right foot, empty net, and hits the post.
Not quite a miss of Chris Iwelumo's standard, but it's not too far short. He's got one goal, he's got a big assist for one of Rooney's. He's contributed fully to this, in the end, impressive England display on difficult territory. Ukraine and Croatia in particular hoping for an England slip-up tonight. It's not going to happen. They have still to come here. Brown. Right, Phillips, Crouch, the only England player in the box. Comes off Verhofstadt for an England corner. And here comes the third and final change. No hat-trick for Wayne Rooney tonight. He missed out on a hat-trick because of a haircut on Saturday. And he's bagged two here tonight.
Well, excellent again. His work rate's absolutely tremendous. His goals... He's just really hot at the moment, terrific form, giving the England fans applause as he's walking off, and he'd be disappointed to come off because he probably thinks he could nick a hat-trick in these last few minutes, but here comes David Beckham.
Well, even the home supporters are applauding as Beckham comes on. Such is his worldwide celebrity. Another excellent night's work by Rooney. Lampard's corner. And a free header as well. For Matthew Upson.
Good Shaw made Phillips on the left. Beckham on the right. Kept the same shape. Gerrard just plays off Crouch. That was just a wonder goal, wasn't it? Brilliant. Excellent. I mean, the way he's just let the ball cross him from his left foot to his right, and the finish. Just touch of class. Confidence is very high with Wayne Rooney.
Outlandish cheers for Beckham's touch of the ball. Reacted with great dignity to his relegation to the England bench. It's a different role to perform in the squad now, so it takes him away from the travails of his LA Galaxy career. They've had an awful season. Won one of their last 15 games, and he's currently suspended with 3 matches to go because of being booked too often.
What are you saying, his Galaxy's melting?
Galaxy's imploding. Well, one last throw by Belarus. It might be proved wrong, but I doubt that this can really change the game. Stasiewicz is coming off. And Alexander Kleb's younger brother, Vyacheslav Kleb, is going to play the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lampard. Right, Phillips. 4 additional minutes shown by the 4th official down below us. 4 minutes between England and a 4th consecutive World Cup win. Sounds rather good, doesn't it? And it's never happened before. 4 straight victories at the start of a World Cup qualification campaign. There's the man that appointed Fabio Capello, Brian Barwick, making what may be his last public appearance as Chief Executive of the Football Association. This is turning into the long goodbye for Brian, really. Gerrard, good ball, Beckham. Aging legs will just about get there. It's not the worst of crosses, and it brings a corner.
He didn't really need that after just coming on a few minutes. Still cold, wasn't he? But he got there, and as you say, it was a good cross to dig it out to get up to the far post where Crouch was. He'd just take his time taking the corner, jogging across.
And it probably won't be a bad corner, because the one thing we know is that he can still deliver set pieces as unerringly as ever. Three in the box for England, and it's played short to Barry. Beckham. 7 back for Belarus, so it'll need a very accurate ball in. Might get it from Beckham. Might not, despite the fumble from the goalkeeper.
Well, they run the clock down now, and I say second half, John, England have been excellent. A bit like Croatia, the game away, when they played it in English tempo type of game. That's what they've done well tonight. And whether Belarus tired or not, put a lot of effort in first half to get back in the game. You've got to give England credit. It's the boys in midfield second half have won the battle, they've won the second balls, they've played quicker. Rooney's been excellent, and most of them have been excellent second half, you've got to say, and that's what you expect now. That's what you saw in Croatia, and that's the standard they've got to perform at now.
Filipenka. England have shown qualities of resilience tonight, having taken and then lost the lead, find a second breath and to perform with increasing second half authority. Right, Phillips, Verhofsov and Terje Hauge will soon begin consulting his watch with round about a minute to play. Fraught with potential difficulty for England, about to be chalked off as another World Cup qualifying win. And with every victory, it seems there's more substance to England under Italian management. Lampard, offside against Steven Gerrard. That's the way of it. In Cyrillic, at least, for the most important part of that display. The score, 3-1 to England, 2 of them scored by Wayne Rooney. Beckham, England winners in Barcelona, winners in Zagreb, and now impressive victors in Minsk, the capital of Belarus. Wayne Rooney with 2 of the goals. One of them an absolute gem set up by Steven Gerrard, who'd got England on their way with his goal after 11 minutes, only his second in his last 14 international outings, but his performance will please Capello. There were moments when England flagged, but the coach's words of wisdom at half-time did the trick. Belarus level for a portion of the game through Sitko's header. They played some lovely stuff. Their goal itself was exceptional in its quality, coming at the end of a 23-pass move. But all of those are incidentals to a score of 3-1 in England's favour. It is played for, 1-4 for the first time ever. They have been victorious in their opening 4 games of a World Cup qualification campaign. The road to South Africa so far is smooth, and it is fast, and it is straight. And one of the most difficult assignments of that journey has now been put to one side. Here in Minsk, it's finished Belarus 1, England 3.
Unbeaten and seemingly unbeatable, England go into the international break in perfect shape. 3-1 winners in Minsk tonight. Gerrard got them off to the perfect start. Wayne Rooney added the gloss to another England victory. All the reaction from Belarus and from Macca Sam and Terry in the studio when we return.